And we're back. Back again.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Hello, friend.
You gotta have those, though. To be able to tell someone. Tell them. Tell them.
That's true.
I always wanted my own space to decorate.
Oh. What was the other thing you had to do? No, it was the Cuba mission, but I don't remember what the other one was. Take it you don't remember?
Let's see. I need to complete an Archon hunt, defend both mirror defense objectives 3 times from a single mission.
The mirror defense. Let's do that first. And then how long until Duviri resets? Because I don't want to do what's there.
Where's a good place?
So, mirror defense is a specific node. It's the Tanya something or another on Mars. Tiania Pass, I believe is what it's called or something.
I think this is the happiest I've ever been.
Where's Mars? Make sure I'm on normal path. Yeah, this one.
Oh, there it is. I was looking everywhere but that.
Yeah, it's in the middle. Which of course
it's only one
means
node?
that your brain doesn't do it. Yeah, it's one node. So, mirror pass as we go back and forth. It's the citrine crystals.
I remember there. I shouldn't remember it being only one.
Well, there is another one on Deimos, but you don't have. No, you do have citrine. Do you have chlorophyll too? I guess we didn't need to do it on this tile. Never mind. We could have done the Deimos one, I guess.
Doesn't really matter. Actually kind of feel for that guy.
Teal Rigor?
Yeah. I mean, we do kind of kill his children.
So, I'd feel bad for him, except that the infestation was basically wiped out to the point that it was only on Deimos. And then Teal Rigor is like, you know what, I'm going to capture some test subjects and study them. And they broke out of containment, and now they're basically back in the galaxy again. Because Teal Rigor just couldn't leave stuff well alone.
I mean, that unfortunately is not uncommon to science in general.
No, it really isn't.
I mean, if he didn't, somebody else would have eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, not the Grenier are good people, but they're not exactly bad people.
So they would have been better if the fucking queen wasn't in charge after the war. If they had been just allowed to make their own factions after the war, they would have been better people.
No. But yeah, finally got to go back out into the garage and start working on some stuff. Got on the lathe for the first time in, like, I don't know, what, 2 years now since my hand started really, well, almost 3.
Jeez.
Since they become a problem. Because stopped using them a couple of Christmases ago to do certain things. We're switching.
Yep.
And then had to go through essentially a year of physical therapy and stuff to try and alleviate symptoms, of course. And then finally got the surgeries last year. So
it's annoying.
Yeah, it's been like, well, I mean, it's insurance companies. I mean, the doctor flat told me when she first checked my hand, she was like, yeah, you're probably going to need surgery. but we got to sign you up for physical therapy and this stuff first. And she was just basically was very honest about the whole thing of like, she knows she's seen enough patients and all to know who is and isn't going to need surgery. And they did the little electrical test, whatever it is, where they check the signals
Yeah, nerve ending or
for damage and all. And it was like, my right hand was like on the verge of causing permanent, irreparable damage. My left was not as bad, but still obviously going to need it. So finally got through all that. But it's like I said, it's been like 3 years since I've been able to do anything on the lathe. I've been concentrating on other areas of the business, but
yeah.
it's kind of nice to have I've had a bowl chalked up, ready to be made, sitting on it for almost 3 years.
Yeah, that's how it
And I
is
got out there and
sometimes.
started shaping it. Couldn't go too far because my hand, it takes so long to recover from it. And she was like, realistically, it takes at least a year to truly recover. And it's been like 9 months ish on my right hand. And it still
Not that
gets
long on
pretty
your left hand,
sore.
from what I recall.
Yeah, so had to wait 6 months between, so
That's fair.
so
They don't
it's
want you
been
to
three
lose the
months.
ability to do stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, basically when I came off restrictions on my right hand, I went into surgery for my left. But yeah, it feels good to be back out there. I mean, I used to be able to spend hours at a time, and I only spent like 30 minutes ish out there before my hand got kind of sore. I don't want to overwork it, but got to start building it back up. Felt good though to be out there at
But
least. I got so many projects just sitting out there waiting to be done.
so how many of this do we do? 3 waves?
Yeah, because it's
Okay,
yeah,
so
because I got to do 3 on each side, and
I'm gonna
each
do a lot
wave
of
is 1 on
re-asking stuff
each.
because when I'm tired, my brain does not put stuff
Uh,
into memory.
I get it. Oh, okay. Well,
She missed the jump.
shut up.
Ah,
Thought I had a second jump. I didn't.
Valeric the Bold, Ronya the Clever, unleash the infested on Deimos forever.
never liked that, bro.
Like that rhyme. Garbage rhyme.
Why do you do poetry, Teal Rigor? Why? I'm just picturing him sitting there at like his tube desk. Like he's not actually talking to us. He's just sitting there talking to himself.
If I have to guess, it's because they're getting ready for. Well, I guess technically, is he still alive storyline wise? I know we defeated him,
So
but that
that's
doesn't
the
mean he's
question
dead.
because I have no idea when this mission takes place because it's new content way past when he died. Like he died years ago, but the question, like a lot of people die and then they come back, or they didn't actually die, like they escaped with mortal
Yeah.
wounds because the demo didn't sit there and finish them off, kind of thing. It's like we've
That's-
killed Alad V like 5 different times throughout the story, and he fucking keeps showing back up. He pulls
That's
Deus Ex
kinda what I
Machina
was
the most
thinking.
out of all the enemies.
So my only guess is, if they're setting him up to be a dictator, before you become a dictator, you have to at some point think highly of yourself in some form of art. Usually poetry or often singing.
Don't you have to fail art school?
Not necessarily. I mean, it helps, certainly. But no, like, the easiest way to spot a dictator is, like, if they've got a national radio or whatever, or TV thing, that like they sing on it regularly. It's like it's like 100% of them do it. 100%. I mean, I'm not joking. If you find out about a dictator, go look, and I guarantee you, at some point, they've sang or read poetry or something on their national radio regularly at some point in their life while they're a dictator. It's like it's a common thing. Somehow they think so highly of themselves that they always believe that they can do everything and it's just golden.
Orcus forces are mounting an assault on the Venus.
We're moving and we're walking.
Oh,
Now they are being exploited by smugglers. Belric and Rania deserve better than that.
no. I lost where I was going with that.
I don't even remember the conversation already at this point. Ah, dictators.
No, that was done. I
Oh.
said so to say something else,
Oh, okay.
and just all I said was so, and 100% lost the entire subject of what I was gonna say.
Sadly, because I just laid there in bed for 6 hours and not been able to sleep. My buffer is about 0.1 microsecond. I love that if you're good with technology, how the brain works is so easily explained by how technology works.
Yeah. I was watching some movie the other day. I think it's called The Creator. It's pretty decent,
Okay.
but basically it's we created AI and robots and stuff, and it was all great. And then one day they just detonated a nuke in Los Angeles, and
Just
so
did
the United
what?
States they just detonated a nuke in Los
Okay.
Angeles.
Alright.
The AI did. So the U.S. went to war against all AI and tried to wipe it out from the planet. And I don't want to put spoilers out there, but it's always funny to me because inevitably in every AI gone wrong movie, there's a point where like someone's making the point that it's just programming, and it's like, what the fuck do you think your brain is?
Yeah.
Instincts, all that shit, that's all programming. It's literally the same thing. It's
Just
exactly
genetic
the same.
programming.
Well, I mean, that's yeah, like
Yeah.
their
but
software
people
is
hear like,
just
well, no, it's genetics. Like, yeah, that's what programming is. It's like
uh-huh,
it's a
it's
language
software.
of coding.
It's just software.
Yeah.
Hardware's the body, the software is how the brain works and all. I mean,
By
it's
the way,
our
can
ability.
I turn this hardware in for replacement before the 30 years?
Boy, I wish it worked that way.
Yeah, I want to refund my 30-year trial.
Um,
Two men, try again.
but like they always say that, and it's like you are literally programmed. Like human humans want to set ourselves apart from AI and stuff, and it's like no, the whole point in AI is to essentially recreate the human experience in a machine. Like,
And there are so many reasons to do it. One, we'll prove whether or not God can exist, because if we can create life, then there's definitely the evidence that there's a being that can also therefore create life if we can create life when we're not a god. Like, if you're not a god and you can create life, imagine someone that's on that level and what they could do. So,
yeah,
then there's like, hey, well, if you create artificial intelligence and really good robots, then they will just constantly improve faster and faster because the way their cognitive function will work. Right now, AI isn't there because they don't think like that. They think good, but they don't think on how to like improve themselves and re-optimize or self-optimize. I don't know what you want to call it.
I mean, they do. The issue is there's a lot of different levels of AI.
Yeah.
And what people want to think of as AI as this like human-like creature, there's very few versions of that being created. Most AI is centered around machine learning to pick out patterns and remake patterns and things like that. So like places that it'll work really good with in any kind of business, in anything, because business is all about patterns. AI is really good at that. The issue obviously being that anything you train, you have to be careful what you train it on. Because when you train anything, not just AI, human, everything, the sample set of data that you give it is going to determine its outlook. And if you give it something that's faulty or that helps reaffirm what you want it to be, you can get in deep in the wrong places,
Yeah.
such as United Healthcare's AI thing.
I
I
still
mean, they
can't
built
believe
it.
they let that go through with a 90% error rate.
I mean, they built it to do that. That's what they wanted. That's my
Well, yeah,
point.
that's
It
what they
wasn't the
wanted,
AI's
but like
fault.
the fact they like, it's got a 90% error rate. Okay, that's good. No, it's an error. No, that's fine. It's wrong.
Yeah, no, that's what they wanted. They wanted to deny claims that were rightfully, you know, that they shouldn't have denied. They do it already. They do it no matter what. So that was just an extension of what they wanted.
Pure void
They trained it to do that. That's not some errant AI thing.
of nature. Might this explain the connection between these crystals?
I mean, being a programmer, I built a lot of programs, including AI, that people thought that they wanted a certain thing, and I always warn them that it will do what you teach it to do.
And only
You have
that.
to understand that you may teach it things that you aren't thinking of, given the sample that you give. Like, a good for instance, if I wanted to create an AI that predicted the odds of someone going to jail,
Sabermetrics?
huh?
Sabermetrics?
Well, so the thing is, if I want to do that, first thought would be train it on people who are in jail. And it's like, well, don't disagree with that, but what population? If you
Yeah.
go to a certain jail and it's, let's just say for whatever reason, this one jail is 95% white people, 5% Hispanic. It's never going to pick a black person, most likely. It will
Yeah.
probably generally pick 5% Hispanic, 95% white. And it's like, well, that's not what you trained it to do, but that's what it learned. And it's very difficult. People don't understand that kind of stuff. One of my favorite programs that I built in a manufacturing environment, it was basically a way of optimizing when you did certain steps of the product to retain heat
Yeah.
in the product so that it would just take less time. Overall, I think that's it. We did 3 of each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Okay.
impressive to know. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.
Oh,
And it was like they gave me data, I wrote the programming, I gave it example sets so it could learn and do all this stuff, and it popped out results. And so basically, its entire point was to set the machines up to get as much production as possible with as little work as possible. And they hated the results that came out because it would move people around on machines a bunch, and they didn't like that. And I was like, but that's what you told it to do. If you look at it, what it is telling you, it is setting everything up so that it ends up in stair steps in such a way that you get more production for less work. Just because it doesn't feel good doesn't mean that it's wrong. Okay. You ready for the Duviri thing?
yeah, don't forget to set it to public.
What is Ropolalist?
That is the boss fight on Jupiter for Wisp.
We can do that real quick.
We should probably
Ropolalist.
start Duviri because I'm not sure I'm going to last more than like
Oh,
an hour and
okay.
a half. Just to get you
Okay.
some progress on it. Need to be... Yeah, I can stay on Narmon. That's the one I'm working on.
So, after getting those results, did a whole bunch of work to essentially
The skies are burning.
force it to do it in a way that they liked the way it looked, so that they could understand it. And it was, which is fine, but it was one of those things of like, it's literally doing what you want it to do. You just don't like it.
This Tenno asset is destined to be destroyed by hostile forces.
Oh, wait.
Intervene and
Fuck
change
me.
its fate. Enemies
What you
in
do?
combat,
Oh, it wasn't me.
stand fast.
Ah, it wasn't me. I
Uh,
didn't start the defense. I was headed that way and I was like, oh shit, this is defense, and went to stop and it started and I was like, oh shit. Thanks for stealing that right in front of me.
You're welcome.
Why are you even over here? I hate that.
Uh,
It's the worst feeling in the world when you're like, you find something and someone comes and grabs it in front of you and it's like, you literally could be anywhere else.
to be fair, I
Finding
just
it.
go one direction, and then I loop around. I don't know where the
But
last
it's
one
just
is.
like,
10 points.
people do that shit all the time. I see it. It's not just to me. I mean, it's to everyone. It's just like, it's such a waste of time because you're over here taking something that someone else was about to grab for you instead of being literally anywhere else looking.
Fantastic.
cast casting on fracks and their bodies instantly disappear. That's right.
You said things. I'm sure they meant something.
They meant stuff to me. Don't worry about it.
Okay. As long as they meant something to somebody somewhere. I do enjoy running around looking for this and just seeing bodies fucking falling down through this.
Blow fiercely. The rains do not
Seriously, where the fuck is it?
I don't fucking know. Oh, I think I hear it.
stands.
You wanna go? Let's go!
Found it.
I don't think I've ever used my 4 on Revenant.
It's alright. It could be better.
I mean, it does decent damage and it does it towards their weakness, right? Like, that's not bad. It's just, I don't know. Aw. Wee. Wee.
Your resolve is being tested.
It's half one, Grim. Already.
No time to rest. Already a new onslaught begins.
Yeah, I don't have much confidence. To be fair, we got rid of the hard mission at the start. That is actually a plus.
Arson. Arson. Okay, got him. I'm gonna ride up that thing. I wish I could jump during my 4.
Yeah. Ow, everything hurts.
It does. This isn't going great. I'm not gonna lie.
I told you I was trying to do other stuff so it would reset, we just didn't get enough time. I just want you to know this is not going great and I'm armor stripping the enemies for everybody.
Like ashes, the enemy has been scattered to the
I mean, I expect this
Oh.
from me.
Oh, I don't want to
But-
deal with these two. I don't want to deal with
Disappointed
this setup
in
either.
all the others.
one pebble at a time. You will lift entire mountains.
Yeah, I was the majority of that build.
Okay, let's wait and see if they're gonna jump out for us or if we're gonna have to. There's one.
Yeah, that's the one that was being weird too.
There it is. Okay. Go back in here.
Oh god, before I go into this, let me go fucking see if this is on a different build, because dear god, you will hate me if it's on the normal one. What appearance is config A? Okay, we're safe. I played this
What?
last night and I could not stand it. So one of my options is Hydroid. And, the build on it would paint the map green, bright green, if it was on its normal customization. Accidentally did a round of that, and I can't deal with it right now. That's what I'm saying.
Trinity, Necros. Okay, Dante. I want to try him out because he's going to be a pain in the ass to get, so I kind of want to know if he's worth it.
He's very good.
Do not mistake anger for petty spite.
I don't know why I look. There's no way I have enough points for anything there. Oh, yes.
Ooh, if that Mesa's good, we could be fine. But it's not me, so the likelihood of that Mesa being good is not high.
Oh, I need to look at my abilities at some point. Passive. According to stats changing, cruising.
Buried deep within the undercroft. The paradox provides the means to extract them. You must protect the excavators and keep them powered.
Oh, okay. Well. Owies.
Coming to you.
So basically hit
An
2.
extractor requires power.
Hit 1 2 2 1 2 3 3 2 2 2 3 3 and 4. All these require 4. It's just fucking everything. Send it.
You want to explain some of what you just described to me and why?
So, fucking his 1 brings up the Noctua, which is spells or the book. I don't fucking know what I'm trying to work for the words here.
Marking void treasure extraction site.
His then you cast 2, you get a light page. You cast it again, you get a second light page. You cast 4, then I'll cast a double light spell. I don't remember what it does, but it does a buff. And then you cast 2 3, which gives you a light and a dark page, and then you cast 4, and then it casts as a dark spell, which gives you another buff. And then you cast 3 2, which gives you a dark and a light page, which casts as a different buff when you press 4. And then you do 3 3, and then tome 4. Sorry, not tome 4, and that casts as your damage spell. And then you just make sure all of your buffs are up. And 2 2 also is a buff, and it's way more effort than I have the ability to maintain mentally. Dear God, this weapon's a piece of garbage. Cool.
Extractor deployed. I sense another void treasure. Extractor in place.
This Mesa's build is decent. We should be fine with her
Extractor charge
to go
expended.
until the defense at least. As long as she keeps going. So whenever Raga 88 leaves, we should leave.
Okay. I'm just running around hitting buttons.
Excavator under attack.
Like 2, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4.
That's fine.
What was it, 1 2 or 2 1?
Is on the brink
No.
of
So 1 brings up the book. 2 2, 2 3, 3 2, 3 3, and 4. All.
avoid
3 3 is the one I was missing.
Yeah, that's the damage one.
And I'm out of energy.
It's how I feel at the moment. I'm not playing on Zenric because I wanted to level up Narmon for free while we're doing this, and that was a mistake apparently.
I have no energy, no energy. Okay. 2, 2,
4,
4, 2,
3,
3, 4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
Is now
4.
3, 3, 4.
buried riches are here for the taking. I advise you not to be content with
Ugh.
merely a true tenor.
Oh, this. Envious economy. Yes, please.
Coursing through
I
their
want all of that.
prove yourself. Find the crucible.
Great. I don't remember what I was on.
Force it needs to
3,
a complex
2,
elemental force.
4.
Your enemies hoard the amphors the crucibles need. Retrieve them. Gas, the ephemeral elemental force, is created by combining heat and toxin.
Need to make a fucking macro.
So macros are like a touchy subject in the community. Sometimes they'll ban people for them, and sometimes they won't.
Oh no, it was a joke. I'm not. I wouldn't. It's not one of those games. Like honestly, it's just not one of those games that has a need for it. Like there's a few characters like this that are complex where it'd be like sort of nice to be able to do it, but like if I play this a lot, it wouldn't be a problem.
Find an amphor and throw it at the crucible.
But no, I think it's one of those things. Honestly, they should just ban macros outright.
They have, but sometimes like there are so they had a big issue with Razer back in the day because when Razer was originally releasing some of their gaming PC mouses, the way they were doing the side buttons was actually via a macro.
Ooh.
So that got a lot of people falsely banned. They proved that it was Razer, and it's like they're the reason Razer no longer uses a macro for their side buttons anymore. I think they actually functioned all the way back into WoW. That although it wasn't as big as a deal back in WoW, because WoW actually does support macros. But
Yeah,
that caused a big
not the
issue
way they
because
used to.
people were getting bans for macroing, like, but I'm not using a macro, and like they kept proving it. It kept being a really big thing. Like D was like, no, you're definitely cheating. You're definitely cheating. And then more and more people came in. I think finally a big streamer got banned for it. He's like, I don't do macros. I have like 8 hours of stream recorded footage a day showing I don't use macros. What is going on here? So then they actually started investigating, and they found out it was Razer's side buttons that were causing the false bans. So it's one of those things where like they test to see whether or not it's like a PC mouse kind of thing causing it, or if it's actually someone macroing it. But that caused like a very big rift in the community because like you getting banned for using side buttons is stupid. Like, there's no like way around that. It's just dumb.
Yeah, because I mean, the whole point in that is to. They shouldn't be using macros with fucking side buttons.
Yeah, this was back in like
To be fair.
2012 or 2013 when they were just starting to put that tech out, really, and get it sold to a lot of people. Because it was really expensive back when they first started doing it, and then they started lowering it the price to make it better and sellable. It's like 2013 to 2015 is when like razors started to get really big, and that's when it became a problem. But they were banning it because people could like do AFK macros and like AFK at the end content and just farm loot all day. And the reason that like they didn't trust like, oh yeah, sure, it's your gaming PC, sure, because they do also have the way to make macros in those back when it came out, and that's how some people were doing the AFK farming. So they were like trying to figure out, okay, is it real? Is it not real? Yeah, that's your little tidbit of lore for today. Where is a fire amp go, please, game?
Replicate these elemental combinations.
Ugh.
Your weapons and warframe. Leave now or later. But leave you must, for the Undercroft is inexhaustible. The void angels that roost in the Zariman are breaking into the Undercroft. Repair the damage to keep them at bay.
Where? Okay, I see
You'll have
the
to be
decrease.
nimble to collect those energy globes, but they are the only means to close the breaches.
You only don't like this one because you can't be super cool hero damage boy.
No, I just don't like it just because it's, well, I guess I kind of don't like it for that reason. It's not murder but focused. I just,
I'm telling you. Every time you say you don't like something, it's because you can't be murder hobo.
it's not completely. I just am not fond of parkour. Listen, we've discussed my inability to exist with parkour involved. A
But you're actually
three-block
good at it
jump
in this game.
in this game, but that doesn't make me enjoy it.
Close the ruptures as you
Also, compared to some people, I am not good at parkour.
I'm terrible at it in this. Which is sad, because I actually really enjoy it. On the whole, like...
To be fair, I bet if you had 11 years of practice, you'd be good at it too.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about it, but I just can't... It doesn't function for my brain the way this game does it.
You're definitely
It's like too
so
complex.
much better at it than you were when you started, though.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, leagues
Obviously.
of difference.
There's just too much to it, I think, in this game.
There's so many systems. Like, I was making that core build, and I kept telling my friends, like, I'm not really proud of it, because all it really is every, like, game mechanic system in the game, just taking it, like, I like that, I like that, I like that, and then just fully utilizing those game mechanics. It's not even min-maxing them, it's just making the full use out of them.
See, I like this mode, because I can actually help. I'm doing something. Speaking of, I'm gonna, when we do get done and you lay down, I think I'm gonna write out that stuff that I need your help with and explain it on Discord for you, so that when you get back up,
Is that for the
you can read it
game
and ask
thing,
questions.
or...
Yeah.
Okay, just checking to make sure I knew the
Yeah.
context. Like, I couldn't remember, it was like, was there a word frame thing they were talking about too that I forgot it in this short amount of time? My brain.
No.
Just checking.
It was that, because
Defenses are weakest here. You have done well to reinforce them. This struggle goes on for as
Asin.
long as you can stand.
Ooh, morale boost, thank you.
The jackal may have been sent to explore Duviri. Ensure it never returns.
Ugh.
I gotta think of how I'm gonna explain all of it.
Evade. You can attack later. The body is well armored. The limbs. Less
Here we
so.
go.
First, bring it down. Then work on keeping it down. Avoid the beams. Now, strike while it's down.
Okay, I like Dante.
Before your onslaught,
Yeah, he's
I
really
can just-
fucking good.
hunt it down.
I can just float around doing this shit all the whole game.
Turn your
Yeah, so it's that overguard you're giving us makes us status immune while it's up there. And it has its own like shield gate mechanic as well that's unique to it. Which I am too tired to explain, but basically as long as you have a certain amount of overguard, you have a certain amount of seconds of invulnerability when you lose all your overguard. And then if you get a certain amount in that time, you refresh that invincibility.
This is definitely my style of support character.
Yeah, my only issue with Dante, and the reason I didn't recommend it to you, is just there's a lot to do consistently, constantly, and you already have carpal tunnel.
Well, I mean, I've had carpal tunnel release surgery, so
Yeah.
seek out what protects it.
God, just not having constant pain in both of my hands all day, every day.
Yeah, I feel bad that like that kind of surgery didn't exist when my grandma started getting peripheral neuropathy. That would have made her life so much better because she was basically chugging gabapentin by the end for to deal with her feet constantly hurting.
Oh, well, you're talking about gout, though.
No, there's gout too.
Right.
That came later. But no, she had peripheral neuropathy, which is basically she lost all feeling in her feet, and it's, you know how that feeling when you fall asleep, like your hand or your leg falls asleep? It's that, but magnified to like 200, and it's constant in her feet. Basically, her nerve endings were corroded in her feet and were constantly on fire, equivalently.
It's awful when like seriously, they,
According to her,
when
gout
she
was worse.
scheduled when she scheduled me to do my right hand, she gave me a steroid shot in my left to help
Yeah.
with the inflammation and stuff for a while, and that it helped a little bit, but
It doesn't last.
I mean, it doesn't. All the pain medications constantly and shit, and it's just like you don't even realize how much pain you were in until like once stuff has been healing for a little while from the surgery, and you're like, you suddenly realize that there's no pain in that hand, and then you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that was way worse than I thought it was.
Oh, great.
What?
My morning bloody nose.
Ah,
Sometimes it's in the morning. Sometimes it's later in the day. Okay. Back to decree searching. I told you that when Raga leaves, we should leave, right?
yeah.
Okay. Ugh.
yet defeated. Persist.
Also, because you said that, I'm like staying with Raga and keeping them.
That's fine. They're definitely the ones like keeping us in this. Because my build's garbage. I don't think the Styanax is doing anything. And well, you just don't have a lot of builds that are competent for Steel Path yet, so
Yeah.
the likelihood of the stars aligning for you is a lot lower than me. Where's this last decree? Ah, there it is.
Yeah, honestly,
What a waste! Your scarred vessel
I have very few things to pick from, and consistently, all of them are not amazing. But it's okay, because I just hit 2, 2, 4.
a lifetime, an eternity, a universe of deaths before you are blessed by the endlessness of this paradise. I will
2,
never close an eye
2,
to a gift
4, 2, 3, 4,
awaits my joining.
3, 2.
Oh, wow, Raga decided to trigger early. I guess they can think we can go look for the decrees while they defend it.
Extraordinary demands of exceptional people. This Tenno asset is destined to be destroyed by hostile forces. Intervene and change its fate. No time to
Is there Warframe just a
already a new onslaught.
cowboy?
Yeah, she's a cowboy. That's actually what she's based
I
off
just
of.
literally just looked and it's like she's
Technically,
wearing chaps and everything.
She's a cowgirl, but the point stands.
You okay?
Like, I wasn't gonna correct you on that. Like, she is technically a female, but like, that's the point is they were based on cowboys and cowgirls. I have a loadout for them that is based off of an ADATS, anti-defense air targeting system. And I call it the M1 ADATS because eventually there was actually a prototype for the M1 Abrams to be equipped with an anti-defense system for the artillery fire. And that's my min-maxed build for Mesa. I love it. If I got that, I
still
could
lo-
fucking just send us to the moon on this.
Stand fast.
I still love after World War II, people are like, why did we absolve all those German scientists and stuff? And it was like, because they literally shit out good science. Like, every time those scientists wiped their asses with something, there was good science coming from it. Like,
Okay, so it turns
Thank
out
God.
this config is worse on the fucking brightness.
thank God that Hitler was so crazy, because with their science, they're, oh my God, ow, you're not kidding, that hurts.
This battle is already half won.
But I was watching a thing yesterday, I think, with my son, or day before. No, it's Sunday. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, so it was 2 days ago.
Yes.
About the Hetzer, and it was just like the German engineers, they needed a tank destroyer but they were already running out of materials and stuff, but they had a bunch of these old Sturmpanzer 3 whatever B. Their notation was crazy. It was one of their older Panzer tanks. They had a bunch of the chassis sitting around, and they just like slapped this thing together, and it happened to be like one of the greatest tank destroyers in the war. It's just like y'all took an outdated tank chassis, slapped some shit together, and made something that the Allies feared.
Will you lay your sword aside and rest?
I also enjoy that
Fight
um their like
is
truly scary
prove you
tank
can
destroyer
endure across
was
the
they took one of those 8.8 centimeter fucking uh flak cannons and just strapped it to a tank. It's just like, I guess that'll work. I can't I can't argue with you on it.
Where is Rago?
Don't need that. Ooh, that'll work. That, yeah, that looks good. Okay. 2, 2, 3. Oops, no, 4. Shit. Messed up. But it's just like, we would have never gotten to the moon if it weren't for the German engineers. Well, I mean, we would have eventually, but
We
certainly
would've
wouldn't have won the. We wouldn't have won the space race. There's no way.
Let me just go check the flag moon for any other flags.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think the Russians would have fared much better.
No,
Because
based on
they
how
took a
their
bunch of
fucking
science.
experiments did go, I don't think they would have won anytime soon either. They were
I
not
do
very
enjoy-
close by the time we got up there.
I do enjoy those memes where they're like, they show all the points where Russia made it first, and then like we only beat them to the moon, and they're like, and yet you say Americans won, and it's like, yes, that's how a race works. You can hit every checkpoint first, but at the finish line, if you're in the front, you just win. That's why it's called a race. Then, for God only knows what reason, we decided, oh, let's just, instead of continuing on this, we'll just make the space shuttle because it's cheaper. And
I hate that. I hate that we've spent basically nothing to improve space technology. And it's like, but I want to go places.
we could have. So the plan, I can't think of his name offhand, which sucks because I hate that I'm bad with names. But the plan that the German scientist who really made our space agency what it was, his plans took us all the way to a colony on Mars. But after we got to the moon and won the space race, America was like, that's all cool, but money. So instead, we made the space. Like, basically, there's a decision. I don't remember which president it was that made the decision. It may have been
It was
Nixon.
probably
I don't
Nixon,
remember.
because I
think it was Nixon.
he was trying to cover up tracks of all the money going missing, and he's like, oh, it's in NASA, boys, it's in NASA.
So, like, basically, at some point, the decision came across the desk of the president at the time, and I think it was Nixon, but maybe not. And it was basically like, you have 2 ways to go. We can continue the way we're going, and it's going to cost a lot, but, eventually we will get to Mars, basically. Or we can spend significantly less and essentially stunt all scientific growth in this area for the next 3-4 decades.
Future.
but it's going to be significantly cheaper. And well, we got the space shuttle, so which is a cool thing. Don't get me wrong; like it's neat, and we did get to do a lot of science in orbit up there with the space shuttle, but it's not what it should have been.
Only 60 seconds remain.
So is Mesa the one that gets the auto shoot?
Yes. I don't know if that came from. Yes. That's her whole shtick.
Yeah, definitely want a Mesa.
Yeah, when you get a Mesa, let me know and I'll give you the guide I have for her too. That one's smaller than the core one, which confuses me because that one's min-maxed.
Do not expect me to
I don't know if Raga has figured out that we're all waiting for their decision.
for your secrets lie buried
Ooh,
deep
hello.
in the Undercroft. The paradox provides the means to extract them. You must protect the excavators and keep them powered.
I mean, I think she's figured out that basically all I do is follow her around and keep her buffed.
Fucking Overguard is so useful.
An extractor is out of power.
Finisher. Oh, no, these are good. These all suck.
I hate when I get one of those.
You know what? Fine. You get an extra jump.
Void treasure location established.
Am I the only one that's not seeing? Okay, there went one.
I've been picking them up. I'm having to look at the mini-map to find them. They're just not dropping at the moment for some reason.
Okay. I was just making sure that I wasn't just like missing them for some reason.
Nope.
Enemies are assaulting your excavator. Excavator is almost destroyed.
Okay, it looks like Raga's having issues killing
Excavator
Frax.
lost. Your work wasted. Extractor.
Well, like you said, we can't fail this one, so it'll just take a little longer and then we can be done. But more importantly, look at those buffs.
A new extraction site may now be claimed.
I don't even remember how to get Dante, but I remember looking at it and being like, fuck
It's,
that.
it's the mirror defense on fucking Deimos.
Well, there's a bunch of them on the ground now.
Yep.
Ugh.
Excavator under attack.
What we gotta do is get my daughter interested enough into one of these games to make all the sprites.
Oh,
Then we'll
the
be
games
golden.
you're making. I was like, I don't think she'll ever get interested into Warframe. What are you talking
She
about?
plays it a little bit. She's all right with it. She doesn't hate it.
I think she'll like fishing and mining more than you do. But I don't know if she'll like the rest of the game.
So actually, fishing's pretty good. The more I do of it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I wish that there was a way to not deal with enemies.
So run Avara, and go into Prowl, and you won't be targeted by enemies.
Guess that's a good point.
And then
Yeah,
when
I
you
like
later
that.
get like a spare Protea, put Protea in the chair and run Dispensary on Ivara, and then you can just have infinite energy and infinite Prowl while fishing. It's what I do, and I'm never going back. It's just like my fuck spy, fuck enemies when fishing.
I think my first Protea is coming out soon. Like the next day or so.
She has a
I've got a
prime,
few
I think,
Warframes
at the
making.
moment, so I think you can safely put her in the chair. Yeah,
Okay.
she does. Because I'm waiting on a Night Tank. That's the only thing I'm missing to make Protea Prime. And I have to level up my Night Wave one more time because I'm at the cap and now I'm at the Prestige point.
I just hit the cap today. You helped
Nice.
me get to it, so I'll be able to start working on getting excess, because obviously it's something I need like a shitload of. It's so many things use it.
It's irritating, just the sheer amount you need. I thought I was done with it, and I'm fucking cucked by like one Nightane extract missing for Protea Prime. And it angers
Oh, it's
me
okay, I'll
because
just
she's
trade
the
it to
only
you, Grim.
Warframe I have left. That'd be
It's
great.
totally a thing I can do.
That would be great. It's not.
Extractor deploying.
So like I'm on the fence with several things to do with this. I
Duviri
understand.
or
No, the trading thing. The
oh, the
trading thing.
Okay.
So it's a game where you got to farm a lot. I get that. I understand that they don't want an auction house because of what that does. I feel like you could do one or the other. Like I feel like they could do an auction house with, or not even an auction house, just a storefront. So it wouldn't be bids, it would just be sellout prices at whatever cost, to make life a little easier, because you're so restricted, unlike most games like this, on what you can and can't trade, that I don't think it would mess with the game. Or they could ease up a little bit on how much is restricted to trade, because like
So the last time this came up, which to be fair, this was a while ago, because I'm gonna date it. Back when Diablo 3 released and it had an auction house, this came up, and the reason DE said no at the time was mainly that it would require a lot of server hardware to maintain it for that many players. And since then, they've released on fucking PlayStation and Xbox and Switch, and Android's coming up here in a minute. So I don't know if they want to invest into the hardware.
This struggle goes on for as long
But
as you
I
it
mean,
would be
I get
nice.
that to a degree. I don't think it would take as much hardware as they want to say, given that they have. So, like, if they didn't have relays that were running on their stuff,
from the time of scholars
I could buy that.
master their alchemy.
But because they have already have the hardware there, and again, I don't think auction house would be the right way to go. I think the smart thing would be more of like a storefront where people could just list their stuff. Because auction houses bring their own problems.
Yeah, they bring a
Not
lot
even
of toxicity, in my opinion.
a lot of what?
Toxicity. Just
Yeah.
people being rude.
And it mostly comes from a like actual auction and bidding thing, because people will play games with it to make money. Like they'll set up an auction, and if they don't get the bids they want, a friend of theirs will buy the thing at the cost that it's at and just refund the money and keep putting it there to get the price higher. And you don't want to play those games. I get it. I don't think that they would need an auction house. I would say just a thing where people could just put it up, kind of like what Warframe market is, just in
Yeah.
game, so that you don't have to go through the whole trade process. It should still use up one of your trade things,
Oh yeah, definitely.
for sure. But like, the point would be you wouldn't have to wait for someone, because like, what's stopping me from doing it is mostly the amount of work it takes, because you got to list all that shit, and then you got to be standing basically in your dojo when you want to list all that stuff and wait.
Yeah. That's why I do
And
it on
it's
days when I'm like, I need to take a break and I'm just sitting there and I might as well have it open. And if someone trades
Yeah.
me, someone trades me.
And then that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's barring me from doing it. Unless I get something that's worth a lot, I just don't have a want to deal with that. So I think a store situation would be the best way to do it. Because the second you bring auctions in, you bring in a lot of issues.
Yeah. I hate auctions. They're never, they never feel good.
It's not a good it's not a good mechanic. It's not a good mechanic in life, and it's not a good mechanic in fucking games. It's it just brings something that you don't want to a game, because people play with it. Then you end up with winners and losers in the auction house, and it becomes its own thing, and it's like, you don't want that. But I think basically just having an automated store thing, like, basically they could let Warframe market handle most of the transaction stuff, but just allow some form of automated thing on it so that you don't have to sit there.
Yeah.
Is like, I never push people when I'm trying, because I bought things with it, with what I had, and I've sold like a couple of things just because I could put them in the trade chat channel. But like, I don't know. I want some better way of doing that, because there's stuff that I would definitely like to do, but I don't want to sit there like.
I would definitely like it. It's just, I'm not the dev there, so I can't say like. It's one of those things like it would take a whole probably mainline update to make, and it's like, okay, do you want that or do you want content? And it's like, content does sound great, because like the amount of work to go to that could take long enough to like it would push back a mainline content update just to make an
I
update
don't-
specifically for that. But I don't think
I don't think
so.
it would though. I don't think it would be that hard from a programming point of view. I mean, so you got to be careful, because it's not just an auction house storefront that you are creating. You
Ugh.
got to create the security and all around it too. So
The paradox has drawn void angels to besiege the undercroft, undo what their claws have done, or Duviri may fall to
Oh my
something
God.
worse
What's up?
than Thrax. The
I got
spheres
I'm on the third upgrade of the extra jump thing, so now I get 2 extra jumps.
Ooh, nice.
And it just feels good. Like, it's so not necessary. It was in one of those where it was like
Nothing
the other
else is
3
good.
were literally bad. But like that one was like, well, it's not necessary, but it'd be nice. Oh, it's so dumb. It's just.
A breach has been
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of stuff around it. It's one of those features that I would love to have, but honestly, if they never add it, whatever. It doesn't hurt.
It's one of those things that'd be nice, but it would have to be done right and done with the objective of trying to be as least toxic as possible, because it's one of those things. DE loves the community, and they love that basically 9 times out of 10, if you had wandered into a random high MR player besides me, they would most likely have stopped to start helping you out when you were starting. Just because
Yeah, no,
that's something they like to do. They're just like, man, I don't want to do what I'm doing. Hey, there's a little low MR player. Let me help them out instead of doing whatever it was I was doing for 3 hours.
and that's the same. Like, so it's one of those. It's hard because you definitely don't want an actual auction house. Like I 100% agree with that. Like that's not even a question. You don't want an auction house the way other MMOs do them. So like 100% on board with that. I've had nothing but good experiences from the Warframe community, and that's impressive. I mean, it's week 6 of playing.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like I've had that long, but in 6 weeks, I've had no bad experiences. There was one guy that almost like we were doing the 3 Eidolon thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That one's the worst because there's a lot of meta people in there.
Well, so they weren't rude to the guy. The problem was, you got to go to the little thing in the.
Yeah, he didn't know about the thing. Okay.
Well, so he did, because the first time he messed it up and they explained it to him. And then the second time he was off farming something else completely, like not helping.
I don't like when they do that, but some people just, like, they don't have builds for Eidolons. Like, without me to help you for the first one, you would never have killed that first Eidolon on your own.
Oh yeah,
in
no,
a reasonable
like
amount
I
of
don't.
time.
But the problem was he wasn't putting his little thing down on that island, and we were running out of time.
Yeah.
They didn't care that he wasn't helping with the Eidolon. That was like, first off, we had someone that was doing like
He was leeching, but he wasn't even
97%.
paying attention to when he needed to do stuff.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, one of the guys was doing like 97% of the entire team's damage. So like, we were mostly not necessary. I was on Hildren, so I was just keeping him shielded, so he didn't even have to do anything defensively.
If this is defense, I vote leave. Okay, it's not. We can go for this.
But no, it was just he wasn't putting his thing down, and they were nice enough to him about it at the end when we finally got him to put it over there. Oh my god! Definitely gonna have to leave after this because I can't even get in.
Well, we can keep going until it's a defense as long as that Ronga stays. Like, if they leave before defense, we leave because they're all of our damage. It's one of those things where you just rely on your teammates to revive you because, I mean, you got someone that's doing the damage for you, just keep killing until they leave. But, like, if defense comes up, we're not keeping a defense spot alive because there's only one of us, no one has any CC. So...
But anyway, so they were nice to the guy. They just said, look, you need to understand that, like, Warframe community's nice, but they won't stand for too much selfishness. Because, like, he was off doing his own thing, and it's like, that's not even toxic. That's just, one, they're nice in the way that they put it to him, and two...
Like,
they were just warning him, if you are too selfish, people will...
So, Warframe players don't mind leechers, but they want you to be self-aware that you're a leecher and not be trying to get in the way of the other players. And he was getting in the way of the other players.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, I understand that, like, in a lot of cases, it's not as bad anymore. Oh, I didn't... Where are you? Okay, I see.
Someone's got me.
Like, I get it. I'm low on the total poll, but it's not as much of a problem now. And like I said, I'm big on paying it forward in general anyways, so like that doesn't bother me. To sort of leech off of people as long as I'm not like actively making their lives miserable. Because I'll pay it back or pay it forward later. And for the most part, the way this game works is like if you're doing that significant level of damage difference from other people, you don't really need them there. So as long as they're not hurting you, if nothing else, they're a person that can help pick you up if you screw something
Yeah.
up or whatever.
That's what I was saying. Like, as long as fucking Ronga's staying, we stay. Unless defense comes up. Because, like, sure, you're dying instantly right now. Sometimes that would happen anyways if you fucking look at the level. But as long as they're staying, they can clear the mission for us. Our objective is just making sure they get to stay alive to do it for us.
Doing enough.
Ugh. Can I also say I have one disappointment with 1999.
Okay, hit me.
They gave us half pipes in the missions, but you can't actually do a half pipe on your motorcycle.
So there's another one. There's like a actually I think that might be what a half pipe is called. Is that like the ramp they're like curved upwards?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's been talked about a lot. I think Pablo commented on it that they're gonna try to fix it. They don't know exactly why it's not working. But they weren't in office at the time, so like they hadn't been investigating. Like they thought it would have worked, and they don't know why it's not working. They'll have to investigate when they get back to office. Is what he said.
I mean, that's cool. That's literally my only complaint with it is I saw that and I was on the motorcycle and I had like a weird giddy kid moment of like, oh my god, this is gonna be great, and then it just didn't work, and I was like, it hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a fun update, but that just my level of excitement when I saw a whole skate park in it was just unimaginably high.
Yeah, I'm like 90% positive they'll fix that. It may not be immediate because it's definitely like it's for fun. It doesn't need to be fixed.
Oh,
But like
yeah,
it needs to be fixed
nah,
at the same time. So
it needs to
might
be
be
fixed,
like a couple
like-
updates out.
it needs to be fixed eventually. It's certainly not a anytime soon necessity. There are several other. Oh, speaking of, so that whole thing where you had me lower the hertz on my laptop.
Yeah.
So I took it off of. So these screens are only 60 hertz.
Yeah.
So I can't even.
Yeah. I've
you
got
know,
one
it-
too. My main monitor is 60 hertz. I think the other
So-
one is 80 hertz, but I'm not positive on that.
I took it off of the auto and set it to like 50 or whatever, which is
Yeah.
one down, and now this computer's not crashing either.
Ah, good. So that was the issue. It was just too many things going on.
It doesn't make sense though because it's like it's something with their engine.
Definitely. Right.
Because it's like that laptop has no issues
Nope,
with this.
fuck
That's
that.
a
I'm out.
defense.
Nope, I'm out. I draw the line.
You will lift entire mountains.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tyler.
But like, it's something about their thing, their what words? My words are not coming to me today.
It's not too bad, is it? Being here like this.
What? Let me go claim the rewards. The circuit, Torrid, Incarnate, 3-day
Sweet.
affinity booster. Okay, so what do I do with this? Because I think my Torrid's also done.
You go to Colivero. You need to get. Do you have 20 Pathos clamps?
So I don't know what that is.
So that's from completing either the Duviri experience and doing the story in there, or the lone story and just completing the lone story. The lone story will give you 10 in public. The groups are about 20 minutes long to complete it.
Okay,
Uh,
what's the name of the thing?
Lone story on Duviri when you load it
No,
up.
no. The thing.
Pathos clamps. Pathos.
I have 10.
Okay, so you need 10 more. And you'll be able to slap that Incarnate on there. I would go to Colivero on Zaramon and double check that you have the other resources. They'll be in the Chrysalis, yep.
Oh, wait. Do I have to have that weapon on me?
No, you don't have to have it on you. He has like a shop thing that shows you all the Incarnates you have access to and what you need.
Okay.
I'm definitely taking a nap after I finish explaining all this. And any questions you have, though? Oh boy. Sorry.
Get it. What? Okay. Fast travel.
Caliver,
So-
sorry.
Used to think that dying in the field was feeling
Oh no,
So-
it's not Evolve. Incarnate Market?
No,
What-
it's Evolve.
what-
It's Evolve.
Okay. Says Incarnate Ready.
And then you click
I
on it and it should
need
pop
Maw
up with all.
Fangs and Pathos Clamp.
How many Maw Fangs do you need?
14.
Oh, that's really easy.
Oh, that's feeding them. Oh, that I know how to do. I can just do that
Okay.
on my own. That's easy. How do I get the Pathos Clamp?
So the Pathos Clamps is either from completing a Duviri experience by going and fighting the Aura Worm, or, more simply, load up a lone story and set that to public just to be easier on you. And it'll give you objectives that will just auto take you to the end of the story, rather than having to focus it.
Okay.
Duviri
Yeah,
experience, open world, sandbox, lone story, direct line from point A to point B.
so that's the thing where you go to the pond and there's like a little circle,
Maw-Fangs,
you hit
yes.
it, and then you get to like you become a snake thingy and you eat stuff.
Yeah, I actually like it a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really is. I can't argue with you on that. I did it the other day because it was a thing to do, so I did it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a fun little mini game.
Pinned the Torrid builds in our conversation. I did. Good. Oh.
Now, will I remember that you did? No, I will not.
There, fuck you. Because
Okay.
you'll go to ask me the question and it'll be the first thing you'll see.
Just
So the Maw-Fang's
Look-
really fucking easy. When you're like, I would just go into Duviri experience, go find a Maw portal. Fucking really. Okay. And then just like get all the Maw Fangs you need, and then go pick up another decree. Because once you pick up
Yeah,
another
so it
decree, it
saves it.
screenshots it, and then you can just leave, and then go do a lone story on public to get your 10 other more Pathos clamps. You can
Okay.
do lone story on Steel Path, and you get 15 Pathos clamps, but it takes like 7 times longer, and it's never worth it. So just do them always on normal, except for fucking mastery one time on Steel Path.
I'd have Steel Path access to 1999.
You should. Why? Or
I don't have it anywhere else unless I unlock it. Like I can't do that just anywhere. I have to walk through the whole storyline the same
that's
way.
because 1999 is not like it's a content island. Like, it's a very unique content island. It's not tied to the navigation chart, so they're probably not even aware that you can do that.
Okay.
Basically, once
attain
you've done a
that.
1999 mission, you then unlock the Steel Path for it. That's nice.
Okay.
All right.
Let me know
Bye,
if you get back
everybody.
on. Bye.